This is Scorpio.
And Aquarius.
And today we are going to talk a little bit about current events and news.
Just some interesting propaganda news that we just wanted to comment, or at least just give our opinions on it real quick, because of course I'm sure most of the weight community already knows some of these things, but I figure we can say a few things about it too.
Yeah.
But the first thing I want to mention was the Monsanto in the cereal.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that?
Well, apparently they found traces of glycophosphates and stuff.
Different things like that.
The weed killers in the food, in the cereal, which we all know we're not supposed to be eating that stuff anyway, right?
Yeah.
We already know we're not supposed to be eating General Mills cereal,
Pretty much.
or really any of those name brand like cereals.
Ones they see with cartoon characters that they're trying to lure your kids into eating, or you grew up eating.
Cheerios.
Yeah, don't eat that crap. I mean, it tastes like cardboard and different other things for a reason.
Yes. And so it's not a big surprise that it's laced with poison, just like most of our food, unfortunately.
Yes.
That's why we need to stick to, as much as we can, fresh fruits and vegetables, whole foods, you guys. Come on. We can't trust 100% organic labels, but at least if we go that route, we know we're not getting, like, a ton of poison, you know?
Like you're getting the least amount of poison possible.
Yes, farmers markets or grow your own food. But anyways, yes, of course, there's weed killer in our food. Okay, everyone, come on, this shouldn't be a surprise.
And that's just like one of the many things. It's like, surprise, surprise. Not surprising. And so one of the other things that's kind of funny is anyone that watches the news religiously, there's some of you people out there that love the news. You're like, you want to be up to date on everything. Okay. Pretty much all the time there's something they're trying to terrify people with, like the end of the world is coming kind of a thing. There's outbreaks all the time. I was just like scrolling through Yahoo News and like other local news things, and in the last 3 days they published like 10 articles on different types of outbreaks from all across the world. Cholera,
salmonella,
mumps, polio,
and what does that mean?
It's like
we should be getting our vaccines,
yeah,
right?
And that's what they want people to do. Like, there's big pushes for this. And I've done research through the World Health Organization on the Zika virus. There's been like, I think it was like 1,000 people in the span of like 20 or 30 years across the world that got Zika. And there was a big campaign for like a corporation to get like $1 billion for research on making vaccines for Zika because people were terrified by it.
This was like a year ago.
Yeah, and it's like
Zika's kind of old news now, I think.
No, they keep bringing it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still there. And the thing is, like, they're trying to push these vaccines out and that harm people. And the thing is, like, because people are fearful, it's like, don't be afraid of these diseases, you guys. It's like,
for the most part, they're not real.
Yeah.
But when they are real, it's because you're in the system pretty much, right? You're in the matrix too much. Just pull out of the matrix and they won't be real anymore, pretty much. But so yeah, they make these vaccines. They cause a lot of these vaccines and pharmaceutical drugs and the poisons in the food and whatnot. They cause a lot of birth defects. And so they have to cover that up by saying that there's these weird diseases that are causing these birth defects,
and
right?
They'll say like malnutrition from the mother or whatever, or different
Zika.
Things and different genes being passed through. And it's like a lot of that's just straight up BS. It's like, don't believe it.
Yeah, it's like they screw you over and then they have to have a backup story to get you to continue to do stuff to screw you over, and then
blame you for it.
Yes, fell right into the trap.
And what's another current event?
Oh yeah, hurricane. Wait, what is it? Florence?
Yes.
I'm getting ready to say Hurricane Harvey, but
it doesn't really matter the name.
The new one, Hurricane Florence. Yes. Obviously, there's probably a hurricane. That's because this is the time of year where we get hurricanes. Okay, whatever. But obviously, they've done this over the past few years. They tended to be playing up the hurricane thing a lot more, and somehow these hurricanes produce so much rain that they flood whole towns and whatever.
And then I had a hunch about that kind of thing, so I started looking a little bit more into it. And if you look at all the different locations that these places like flooded out the cities, whatever.
What places are you talking about?
Like New Orleans and other different locations where like
Houston recently.
Yeah. It's like if you look up like local dams or anything like that quote unquote failed or broke. It's almost like they intentionally broke these dams or had like faulty dams and just flooded the cities.
And they said it rained a lot, and then that's what flooded it. But it's like that. And then it was in Puerto Rico also that flooded a lot too. But yeah, they go to these. They pump up the hype about a storm coming in, and they talk about how this storm's gonna be the worst storm ever. It's gonna cause like 20 feet of rain fall, and like everyone's gonna have to evacuate the area. And then they go in and like break the dams and like
or do other
damage
things
some buildings and who knows whatever they do.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, people should not buy into this as well. I mean, obviously there's natural occurrences that happen in the world, but there's a lot more to it, especially when it comes to, I don't want to call them natural disasters, but natural weather phenomena or weather situations.
It's like these happen normally.
Yeah,
it's like,
and there's much more deeper connection between like the earth and its natural flows and like its inhabitants and everything. And this kind of stuff that goes on the news is more like a I mean, they just turn it into like a scary movie or something.
Yeah, terrifying people, and then it's like, and they want people to evacuate because even if it's like they want people to leave these areas, so there's no people around when they start doing things. They're intentionally like getting people to leave areas. And also, of course,
getting everyone out. People have to leave and go to wherever camps they set up, or leave their homes and waste all the time doing that, and that puts them in the hole a little bit too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's a well
many
thought
layers
out plan
of these plans.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's all just for show, you guys. It's like people have been living through these different phenomenon for centuries.
Well, and the thing is, like, normally it would be something that's probably not an issue, but I think that they're actually going to go in and like do something with these dams, and so it is going to flood these areas so that they can accomplish their goal.
Yep.
But you know, the whole consciousness of humanity, the more we kind of play along with their gimmicks and stuff, the more they're going to keep doing it. I think, or they're going to continue to do it
because it worked, so they're going to do it again.
Yeah. So the thing is, what it takes two to tango. The more we as a humanity play along, they're gonna keep doing this kind of stuff. So it takes the whole of us waking up to these games that they play, if you will, and kind of like stepping back from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just another one of those things. Don't get too freaked out by it, everyone. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know really, unless everybody literally like stops playing the game, they are likely going to actually flood the area, and
they'll do a bunch of stuff, and people will probably die and different things and lots of damage.
Lose power and damage and all this.
And it's because people still play along.
And the funny thing is, Ash, I was telling you earlier, I was watching their news feed of it. I mean, you can see how fake the whole thing is, because they have the guy on the news, whatever, with the wind is blowing, like, his coat and everything, but, like, in the background, the trees are, like, not really blowing very much, and, like, it's weird. And then they showed that one picture of like the satellite picture of the storm on the Earth. It looked like it was taking up like the whole, like,
all of North America.
And then like they show the meteorologist like picture, and it's like just like the size of like
a couple states, maybe if that.
So someone's lying. Either NASA's lying or the newsroom's lying, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, they're not even, if you really look at it, basically the point of that was just if you actually look at it, the news, and like you can see where they're making up a lot of stuff and a lot of like photoshopping crap to make it look worse than it is. They constantly
are bringing up like, you need to evacuate. This is the worst storm ever.
This is definitely going to be, you know, some damage from this storm, a lot of damage,
and it's like they have already marked up all these different areas.
For certain, cause some flooding
in this area. We already know it for a fact. It's like, how do you know for a fact that this is gonna happen? You don't know, because the storm could like just fizzle out before you even got to that location. But you are dead set on knowing that this is gonna flood this many feet. It's like that doesn't make any sense. But you know, believe what you want to believe. We recommend you don't believe this stuff, but
Well, strive toward enlightenment, because that's kind of where the direction of the Earth is going, and it'll get there more quickly the more people, realize that what's really going on. And I guess that's kind of the point of our channel, is to kind of like, in a fun, lighthearted way, kind of talk
people about find their way and like
all the BS that's going on,
figuring things out.
Yeah, there's definitely more people on, especially YouTube. There's a lot of people that really have really good channels about helping to awaken the collective consciousness of the world.
For sure.
And you should check those channels out, or research some channels too. Yes.
And that about wraps it up about news and current events. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right.